Hey everyone, I'm Krista Kasper with Keys to the Valley, where we talk things real estate, community, and all of the wonderful people who make Lehigh Valley a great place to live. Before I introduce our featured guest today, I want to first give the floor to Kyle with Bright Financial. He is a fabulous local lender who I work with, and he's going to give us a little bit of an update, market in a minute, we like to call it.
Yeah, thank you, Krista.
Sure.
I appreciate that. Markets this week, interest rates have been a little elevated for the last month. Ever since the conflict overseas, we're seeing oil prices be a little bit higher than we're used to, which is pushing inflation up. So right now, average 30-year fixed interest rates are really just under 6.5%. FHA and VA are a little under 6%. I kind of expect interest rates to stay here for the time being until we see the conflict resolved. But for right now, if you are interested, rates are going to stay in this range for probably the next 12 to 24 months, if I had to guess.
How do you feel about date the rate, marry the house?
It's a great saying. It's one of the coolest sayings that we have in real estate. And it makes sense, but it's only if it makes sense for you to buy right now. What you should never do is buy a house that you can't afford with the promise of your rate being lower in the future.
Right.
Just because you think that lower payment's going to come, because
Sure.
it may never come. We've seen that happen. But
Right.
if you can afford to buy now, and it's likely that we're going to see rates come down, it's a good time to buy.
I agree. And I would have to say that what we're seeing here in the Valley with the low inventory and really no end in sight, especially with the industry that we have coming here, like Eli Lilly, bringing 2,000 to 3,000 new jobs, people, et cetera, to me, that's going to make a lot of values continue to rise because of the fact that we don't have enough houses for the people that are coming here.
Yep.
So in that case, I do think it's a great time to buy. So you get the house that you want, of course, if you can afford it, and then just enjoy the equity that's going to come with the shift of the market as things evolve here in the Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, and it's more like, the people that I speak with, when they're trying to qualify, they go, oh, that's kind of a high rate. But when they look at the payment, it's not that I can't afford that payment, it's I don't want to.
Right.
Well, that's a good position to be in. That means you get the power of choice.
100%.
If you can't afford the payment, well, it's hard. The decision's been made for you.
Right.
But if you don't want to afford the payment, that's a conversation that you and your spouse have to figure out whether or not you're ready.
Absolutely. And people like myself and you are here for those conversations.
Absolutely.
So now, without further ado, I'm excited to introduce our featured guest, Ryan Drury of Made of Muscle. Welcome.
Hey everybody, it's a great time to be here. Very first time interacting here with Krista Kasper and Kyle Stolte at the Mortgage Celebrity Podcast Studio, and I'm very fortunate and grateful to be here this afternoon.
Happy to have you. So I'm excited to tell everybody about how I sort of came upon your business and then met you, and I've been following your journey, very inspired to see you as another fellow young professional doing your thing in the hyper growth season of your business, I would call it. And then what's even more interesting is that when I was telling Kyle that I was going to have you, he's like, I know Ryan. So I absolutely love the power of networking here within our community, which is really cool. So first and foremost, I was looking for someone to, well, first of all, I hate working out. Let's just get that out there. I hate it. I don't know. I'm thankful for people who that is your passion. I have never been able to get past that threshold of I enjoy doing this. I will say I have looked forward to doing it just because of the results, right? But it's never something that I'm motivated to do. So when I got to a place a couple of years ago and I had gained some weight and I was not happy, I don't like going to the gym. That's another thing. So I happened to reach out to a friend of mine who was with a company that used to come to my house years ago. And I said, are you still doing this? And he's like, I'm not, but I have a great guy who recently started a business. He's killing it, crushing it. You'll love him. And then that's how you and I connected, had a consultation. I took the leap, and I was only on a 3-month program. But I think that's what I love about what you do. And I want you to explain a little bit about your business model. But it's something where it's within the comfort of my home. That was the biggest thing for me. Now, you'll tell people exactly how you run your business. But what attracted me to Ryan's business model is that I didn't have to go to the gym. He could come to me, and then I really have no excuse.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about your business model and why you started Made of Muscle.
Yeah, definitely. So we really built it off like accessibility and making it convenience for people, so they don't have to travel to the gym, for that busy professional, you know what I mean, for that busy business owner, whatever that professional is, we really just wanted to quote unquote, right, kind of just bring the fitness and gym equipment right to their location, whether that's their home, place of business, office. They tell us, we arrive right on site, and we would help them get in shape in any setting. We kind of hit all three key points when it comes to working out: staying in shape and staying accountable, right? Because we're bringing the trainer, we're bringing the fitness equipment, and we're bringing the workout right to them. And I think that's what they love, because then they don't have to worry about getting in the car or, spending time to put their health first, because we're bringing their health right to them, and they absolutely love it. And the reason why I started it, because when I was in a really young age, at like 12, 13, I was way overweight myself. And I wanted to turn my lifestyle all around. Shout out to my sisters, nicknaming, "You're not going to have a girlfriend, you're not going to have this." I'm like, oh yeah, watch this. I'm going to turn my life into a 360 full circle, and I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to get in tip-top shape that I want to. And here I am today, launched Made of Muscle Training back in 2022 of May. So I'm very thankful and grateful to say that next month will be our 4th year anniversary.
That's amazing.
Right here at
That's
Made
awesome.
of Muscle Training, which we are headquartered right here in the Lehigh Valley, but we also serve Hunterdon County, Warren County, and New Jersey, like Phillipsburg region, Annandale, Clinton area, and then I'm leaving in 2 weeks to go fly down to Grand Strand area and Myrtle area, South Carolina, so all along the shoreline coast area, because I have friends that live down there, and I realize that there's no mobile fitness going on currently, so there's a lot of room for opportunity and growth for Made of Muscle Training down that area as well.
That's fabulous. Very inspiring.
Yeah.
I love that your haters is what basically drove you to do
It's funny
what
how that
you
works.
did, right? Having a naysayer in your life, or somebody that's like not exactly pumping you up, but it does that opposite, right? So you took something that was adversity and you turned it into purpose,
Totally.
which I love. And you're continuing to do that.
Yeah.
So
What do your
were you gonna
sisters think of that now?
Right now, I would say, they're not saying too much, but I know they're viewing my stories though. You can see that. My one sister here is locally, and my other one's over in United Kingdom, so she's across the seas. But she definitely knows what I'm up to, via LinkedIn, via Instagram, so they know that I'm putting in the time and work. And I told them something like, a business that I'm running right now doesn't happen overnight, so you definitely have to put in the sweat and the time for this to come to fruition.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and it's funny because, when somebody tells me I can't do something, it's instant, like,
It's a motivator.
watch. Yeah, you want to see? And when I first met you, I was in that space. I never worked out my entire life. I played sports. But as soon as I stopped that after high school, you gain that freshman 15, and that happened to me. And then when COVID happened, I was like, it was right before COVID, and I started to work out at a gym. And I really started to get into a routine, and then COVID happened, and it killed my routine.
Me too.
And then I was like,
I joined in January. I joined the gym in January of 2020. And I was so excited when COVID happened because I didn't want to go to the gym. So I was in a routine, but I was pumped about it.
Yeah.
But again, like, gym isn't exactly my thing, which
No.
is what I loved about your business model.
Yeah.
So have you ever actually worked out with Ryan?
No, we flirted with it a few times.
Okay.
We were talking about doing some hot yoga at one point and doing other things, but I have never done it, and I think I have to now.
Yeah, I mean, even you come into people's business places, right? So, like, even
Exactly.
if Bright were to do something,
Yeah.
from that standpoint, that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, definitely, because we do like team training,
Right.
we do corporate training. Like last Friday, me and Kevin, my fitness manager of the Lehigh Valley, he's working with people that I can't get to, so I'm very thankful and fortunate for him. He actually instructed the team workout last week. It was actually in downtown Easton on Northampton Street. It was the team of Element Design, but I think they go by Element Preservation Boutique Shop, so it was a women of like 6 or 7 of them. Kevin highly motivated them, put them through a group class workout. They absolutely loved it, left us a phenomenal review.
That's
and we
awesome.
plan on doing future collaborations with them as well, because they were really pumped up and excited about doing that group workout together.
And sometimes that's very motivating when you have other people to work out with and you're not just on your own.
100%.
So I feel like that's definitely something that would make sense for a lot more people than just having a solo situation, you know? Because I'm like that. If I know other people are depending on me or relying on me, then I'll show up more for them than I will for myself. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
No,
but
I have a client that I talked to. He did a mortgage through me. He calls me regularly to see if I worked out that day.
Really?
He's one of our. He's used me a couple of times, but he runs like marathons. He's actually going to be coming in here.
Okay.
Soon. So
he's your accountability partner.
Yes, yeah. We talk about it quite frequently.
So what is it that? Obviously, I know what motivated you to start, but what keeps you motivated? Like, what is your why in this business?
So my why and my burning desire behind Made in Muscle training is to, like we talked about earlier, right, about the naysayers, like it's not really going to happen, but not watch it unfold, and it will happen. I'll just show you how it gets done.
Right.
And I just plan on, it doesn't have to be all throughout the United States. Maybe just cover the Northeast, but start with these 3 states first, monitor them, get all the 3 guys, fully on board, working with clients, getting them to lose weight, helping them put on healthy lean muscle, getting the toning and firming results that they want when they're working with specific individuals, and just keep that growth going from this point on, from where we're starting with these 3, because it's been a long journey since 2022 to where we are today in 2026, this 4-year gap. So I say the sky's the limit on how I want to construct this, but at the end of the day, I think I want to definitely place my business in areas that people are going to be willing to invest in their bodies. As for a prime example, South Carolina, warmer weather, closer to the beach, things of this nature, so I can really find my exact target audience, as I did, last week with getting in a new group. Not a new group, but just another group here in the Lehigh Valley, which was Network Magazine, and it was just another platform that I was able to put myself out there and kind of reach that too.
Let's talk about that. So how did this come about? So for anybody that gets this magazine or has seen this magazine, there is a feature on Ryan and Made of Muscle here, which is amazing. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I had got in contact with Chris Morganelli and Ray Bridgman, who are the 2 owners of Network Magazine. I think they've been around for like 10 plus years, a really strong platform, where it's a bunch of people who are business owners, decision makers, lawyers, doctors, you name it, a lot of high-end professionals that are going to these quarterly networking events, and they're making really strong business connections with other strong business leaders right here in the Lehigh Valley, which is amazing, which then can lead to, new clients, which can lead to new business collaborations. Like the list is endless, you know what I mean? And they really asked me, said, hey, Ryan, we really like you to be in the fitness lifestyle piece. So I said, absolutely. It's my first time with you guys. We debuted last Tuesday over at the Edge Restaurant in downtown Bethlehem. I had about 20 to 25 people into my personal connection come out and support me for that.
That's amazing.
Friends from college, clients, family. So it was all surreal that night, and it was a really great night. And they announced the company, and they're letting them know that we're going to be in the magazine now for the next 3 months out. So we'll be in there for the July piece, and that's basically going to be explaining how to keep your body in shape during the summer, avoid the distractions, get in shape with Made of Muscle training today. September is going to be then, right, how to stay in shape during the holidays, because obviously then you have Halloween the next month, right? Avoid the candy, avoid the sugar, all the junk. And then when the new year rolls around, we're obviously getting back on track again, getting past through the holidays. Now it's new year, new me. Let's get yourself Made of Muscle today.
Yeah, so I love that. Now you have that down on a reel. Well, let me tell you. So I started with you guys, I want to say in March, okay? So I think my goal was my daughter was graduating high school, and so I gave myself those 3 months. And then what I loved about working out with you guys is that you and Kevin taught me sustainable things that I could do at home. And that's the key. I think a lot of people go wrong in the fitness journey because it's like all or nothing, or these big, massive changes that aren't sustainable in their life, whether it's like, and they're trying to do all the things, cut all of the sugar out, cut all of the fat out, do 7 days a week training, running 5 miles, and nobody's going to continue that type of extreme change in their life. And I wasn't looking to do that. I do believe in everything in moderation. My husband says that's going on his grave because he says that all the time. But it is true, everything in moderation. And that is the way I feel about life when it comes to working out, when it comes to, you're eating and your lifestyle in that way. You have to give room for some of those cheat days and some of those days when you're just not feeling in an optimal place to necessarily get the workout in. You may disagree, but I need balance in my life. So that's what I loved about Made of Muscle, is that everything that we did, I'm like, okay, this is easy. This is simple. Like, it's nothing extravagant. It's not machines that I don't know how to utilize. These are weights that are just simple.
Yep.
These are stairs that are already existing in my house that now I'm learning exercises to utilize them. And I've been able to continue working out on my own because of what I've learned from you guys. So, you know, it's like you're in the business of educating people at the same point. And that's kind of what I loved, my takeaway from my time with you guys.
Yeah, definitely like a little bit of back and forth, right? You're understanding specific movements from when you're not with us, right? So when you're doing those homework workouts, right, we're still holding yourself accountable throughout the week, which is great because we can't be there all the time, right? There's only specific days that we were showing up, helping you get yourself in shape. So that's another great piece that we offer here at Made of Muscle Training, which I think people really appreciate, because it's not just that we have the trainer and the workout coming, but we also have these other moving pieces that are going to gear you towards your health. You know, whether you are losing weight, whether you are putting on lean muscle, whatever that's geared toward, we have all these other fine parts that we have in our toolbox to help people, you know, really get to where they want to be. Like at the end of the day, they are getting real results, and people can find us right on Google at Made of Muscle Training. Type that right in and see all the true testimonials, because I know it can be finicky in the beginning when people get with fitness professionals or fitness experts, and they're like, all right, am I going to, you know, get invested with them, and I actually going to get what I, you know, coming in here for? Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? So I kind of have that challenge in the beginning when we first meet. But then I just let them know at the end of the day, like, just go on Google, look at our photos, look at our true transformations, because we are truthfully helping people stay on the right path and drop those weight as well.
Well, speaking of transformation, I will provide a before and after, just so that you can see. Because it's not always this, like I said, this major transformation. I mean, for me, it was about 21 pounds, but it was the lean muscle aspect. It was more about I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to be more tone. And I did have the weight loss aspect. But it's funny because when I put my picture up on Facebook to show the before and after and talk about the journey, someone actually said to me in the comments, GLP is amazing. And I was like, this is so silly, but I didn't even know what GLP was last year. I mean, I've heard of Ozempic and all this, but I didn't know at the time that it was called GLP. So I'm over here like, what is GLP? I'm like thinking of all the acronyms in my head. Girl, no. Like, and so then I finally, somebody commented immediately and was like, oh, she's suggesting that you took one of these shots. And I'm like, what? First of all, it was 21 pounds. It's not even that crazy.
No.
Right.
But I mean, I guess it's a backhanded compliment.
Maybe.
But regardless, again, I wanted to do it the way that I did because I didn't feel like it was this drastic amount of weight that I needed to lose. And more than that, I wanted the sustainability and I wanted the strength training and just learning. That was the key piece for me. I knew that I wasn't going to continue this for the long haul, but I knew that I wanted to learn how I could continue to do it on my own. And the simplicity was everything for me. Do you find that a lot of people are similar to me in terms of the short term? Are you seeing more people that are long term, you know, year long? What is it in the marketplace that you notice about your clientele? And also, I would like you to touch on kind of, do you see people all across the board as far as where they are in their fitness journey? Or are people coming to you who are already sort of ahead of the game and know what they want, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, to be honest, it's kind of like a really good mixed bag that we get typically, like, because we're also, you know, obviously working with beginners, intermediate, advanced, it doesn't matter. You know, we're getting athletes, you know what I mean, we're getting, you know, husband and wives, we're getting their kids, you know, sometimes we're even doing family training where we're getting the whole family going, which is nice because now everyone's motivated to stay in shape, and now you have a fitness family that you're working with, you know, everyone loves to see that, right, because now they're motivating each other, and that's a great way to push each other and hold each other accountable, because it's like, all right, Made of Muscle's on the way. We know that we can't say no because he's 5 minutes around the corner with everything in the trucks loaded up, ready to go. You know, whether it's in the basement, whether it's in their kitchen, it doesn't matter, but we're getting a full range. You know, we have our youngest all the way at 20, And then we have our oldest all the way at 72. So it doesn't matter. And that 72 works out like he's 60 years old. And I'll announce him because he won't mind that I'll do that. But his name's Neville Gardner, and he's the owner of Red Stag right here in downtown Bethlehem Irish Pub. And he's actually traveling right now. He'll probably be happy that I'm talking about him, honestly. And because he tells me all the time when he's traveling, it doesn't matter where he's going. He's doing competitive field hockey in these 60 and these 70-year-old groups, and he's out here dashing and burning the 60-year-olds while he's 72.
Impressive.
Because of all the training that he's been putting in with Made of Muscle Training, because he's been training with us since 2024. So he's been on a 2-year journey with us, and he doesn't plan on stopping at all. And funny enough, we meet him right in his kitchen. I bring all the equipment. I bring the workout right into his kitchen, and he has a nice little island, so we get some laps going around it. We get some lunges going around it. We get some ball and bow suit stability work going because he wants to work on his balance when he's going out traveling, getting ready for his tournaments and his games for his field hockey tournaments that he goes out overseas for. So he's really excited and pumped up to be, doing that and staying in shape at that young age of his. You know what I mean?
So, exactly. That's very inspiring.
Yeah, no, it really is. So I think even he'd be enjoy to be on something like this to talk about that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. That would be really cool.
I love that.
It's, and to go back to the GLP thing, it's like the purpose of what you did was not for the weight loss. It was for the confidence gain, and it was for the strength gain. And I think you get the confidence with the strength too, because, when I started my fitness journey, it wasn't, obviously we all wanted to lose weight, but you don't realize how much more confident you get with muscles, with a little bit of strength, with the ability to do different moves and exercises and not feel like you're going to hurt your knee or,
Well, that's a good point, because honestly, when I turned 40, everything started changing. So I had some lower back issues and things like that. And that is the key point there. You start to get hurt a lot more easily as you're aging, and you're like, what is happening here? Because you're used to being sort of easy to move and do all the things without feeling like, oh my gosh, literally like I'm paralyzed. So it's a matter of strength and comfort in your skin, because you do start to go through those life changes, and then suddenly like you're not as confident as you were, because you're like, how is my back going out? I'm 42 years old. This is ridiculous. And then enter Made of Muscle Training. And actually, thanks for the reminder, because that was what happened to me. I started having severe lower back issues, and I'm like, this is just not normal. And what am I going to be like at 50 if this is happening in my early 40s? And so looking to preserve that youth from a physical standpoint. And then again, you feel better.
You look better.
The mind, all of that is a powerful tool.
Right, and when you do get to 50, at least your 50-year-old self will be thanking your 40-year-old self.
Exactly, and then 50 will be the new 30.
It's not an overnight thing.
It's not.
It's there's always these quick self-help things that are sold in today's culture. Picking up exercise, and what I loved to hear about what you said was he taught you the things to do. It's almost like you gave away the secret sauce. You could have kept her as a client for 7 years by doing it with her the whole time, but you gave the secret sauce away, and now she's able to take that and build on that herself without having to have somebody else there and do it on her own, which is, the education piece is huge. And more our culture is shifting to be healthier, removing dyes from our food, eating healthier things. You're on the forefront of something like that, which is great to see in our community.
And I think too, it's like there's a saying that when you give people what they want, you can have whatever you want. So like you're saying, the secret sauce, sure, you could have kept me as a client for all of these years, but that may have been serving you, but was that best serving me? So that's the beauty, though, I think, of being in a position where you're looking to make impact over income, is that you're meeting clients where they're at, providing what it is, whether it's the short term or the long term, but then that relationship is here. Right. And I'm going to be willing to tell anybody I know about your service because I had such a great experience with you. And I think that's what we want as a loan officer, as a real estate agent. We're in people's lives for a very temporary timepiece, but it's the longevity of the relationship that we count on and we want in this business, so that they are going to tell people about their experience with us, and we can continue to provide that level of service, because I think we all strive for excellence in each of our realms. And that's why you're here, because I only want to share people with my network and my community who I believe in, who I feel operate with a high level of integrity. And as I mentioned to you, when I have clients who are relocating or coming to the Lehigh Valley for the first time from another state, even if it's just across the border in New Jersey, they need a whole new network of people, whether it's their pediatrician or their dentist or their hair salon or their fitness trainer, their gym, etc. So it's really important for me to have the relationships with people who I believe in and who I feel are doing their craft really, really well. And that's what this is all about.
How many people came to you who have told you, your clients right now, that the reason that they're using a service like yours is because they don't want to go to the gym?
I would
Is
say
it the majority?
not the majority, but like a good starting foundation, I would say. Like maybe the more like entry level ones when they're first starting, because they're like, hey, I want to look like X, Y, and Z here before I actually start going to the gym. Like I maybe want to pack on some, healthy lean muscle first, maybe get some bulk onto me, and then I want to start entering the gym. But realistically, we'll start with more people like obviously they want to get into their bathing suit, right? Getting ready for the beach, getting ready for the summer, all those events. Getting the weight loss off of them, getting themselves sculpted, not for specific reasons, but I think more just like overall healthier lifestyles they want to fit themselves into because they're tired of their old bad habits that they're just, over now. And obviously, like you said earlier, like fitness is starting to really become a big thing now in this generation, in this era. Mm-hmm. So, everyone wants to, kind of not be flashy about it, but sometimes make it the wrong persona about it. And then people like me who have the fitness authority and really, take what they're doing seriously, kind of give us a little bad image a little bit, right? Because not everyone can be a certified personal trainer or whatever they may call themselves, right? Fitness, Instagram trainer, whatever that may be. But you want to come to a real fitness professional like ourselves at Made of Muscle Training.
Right. Now, what you just touched on with people wanting to go to the gym, not go to the gym. Now, we talked to Brittany on our last episode about salon anxiety.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there is gym anxiety, that people are afraid to go to a gym either because they're not happy with the way that they look and they feel like they don't fit the picture of somebody who belongs at the gym, especially when you're around all of these other people where you feel judged because maybe they're looking great and in shape and you don't know how to use the machines. And again, you may not be the body type that feels comfortable among other people who are at the top of their game and things like that. I know for me, it's not exactly intimidation in the gym. I mean, I don't really know how to use the machines, but I'm not embarrassed by that. It's not my forte.
No.
But I will say that I think there can be a very severe situation for some people who aren't as confident in their skin, who would be perfect clientele to be able to work out at home and get themselves to a place where then they do feel more comfort. But you also do go to the gym with people. If they prefer, if they belong to the gym, and then you can give them that knowledge on how to use the machines and do all of that too, correct?
Correct, yeah, and as long as that gym policy allows that, then we have a go for us to go do that. Like, for example, we're over in Planet Fitness Easton off William Penn, and I just think each Planet Fitness has their own rules and regulations, how they do things. They know me for a long time. I've been going over there for the past 2 years. All three of my 4 clients that I have over at that location, they all have the Black Card membership. So as long as they have that membership, not just the basic membership, then they have the privilege to bring a guest in like ourselves, an outside company coming in. We have our full uniforms, of course, when we go into the facility. So the front desk and all the employees know who we are, and they know that we're not part of, Planet Fitness's training staff. But, other locations here in the Lehigh Valley, more towards like Whitehall, Schnecksville area, we tried to do those in the past. We were there for a couple months, and then eventually another director came by and said, you can't really do this here anymore. And I said, it's totally fine. So then me and that client are still training today, and we just relocated to his house right in his kitchen.
Okay.
So it still works.
Well, that's good to know.
And he still likes it because, I have all the equipment.
Right.
And he don't have to worry about, driving to the gym now because now I can just come to his house. And he's another really busy real estate professional himself.
Yeah, the equipment is the big part, I think. I think a lot of people go into the gym and it's weird to try to learn the equipment by yourself in front of somebody.
Very weird.
And but when I started my journey, I realized that you don't need any equipment. You don't need the big machines. You need the free weights, you need your body weights.
You do.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. There's just so many body weight workouts that you can challenge yourself to do to become yourself better, and you can still discover your strengths and weaknesses through those workouts.
Exactly. I love that because
Yeah.
that was the big thing for me. Like there's just an ottoman, stairs. Yes, an ottoman for the Brazilian squats. Is that what you call them? Split squats, Brazilian split squats, where you basically like
foot back.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Leg extensions?
Kevin worked me in on the ottoman thing,
Yeah.
to be able to utilize that. And like I said, some of the other things that, I mean, we used my son's basketball. We added one of those resistance bands to it.
And we did rotation twists for our core. So whatever you need.
Kettlebell, whatever. Very simple things that you can absolutely utilize and do not have to have all of that big equipment. You know, so, and again, sometimes it's an affordability factor for people with that type of stuff. And maybe they can't get the fancy machines like the Pelotons and things like that, but you really don't need it.
No.
And I think that's so encouraging for people to know that you can still get on a fitness journey and have real results without all of that.
Yeah, the other part of it is, you know, everything's on the internet now, right? So some would argue maybe your at-home fitness instructor is on YouTube. But what I would argue is that when you watch a YouTube video, it's hard to find proper form unless you're taught proper form. And I've only ever been taught by a real person. And even then, I mess up, and you need that reminder, like, hey, you're bending your back a little bit in your squat, or you're doing this and that. That's where I think your service goes way above and beyond, like, your internet. Like, you can maybe get started on the internet, but having someone teach you the proper form and show you, unless you have that full-length mirror in your home where you're doing squats next to, you're not going to get it right every time.
And it's not just that. It's like the Krista Kaspers of the world that get on the YouTube video, watch it for 2 seconds, and go, ow, like, I don't want to keep doing this. I'm only going to do 4. I'm going to do 4 reps, and I'll get to it tomorrow. Where Ryan is sitting there going 15, 14, 13. I need that. Yeah. I need someone that's going to say, do this many, let's go, you've got this. Like, and you guys are phenomenal at that piece. I will tell 100%. You, they're very, very motivating. Kevin and you as well. They keep you going. And if I don't have somebody there pushing me, I won't do it. Yeah. So that was worth its weight in gold for me.
Yeah, you can't just pause a YouTube clip and then start, screaming at you, cheering you on. It's not going to do that.
That's right.
We're going to be right there and, give you that coaching and, give you that enthusiasm that you're going to need to help you get closer to your goals at the end of the day when you're working here.
Which is impressive. I don't know how you work out and do all of that at the same time because they're talking the entire time and they're doing it with you.
Hey, the jaw muscles got to get worked
right?
too.
They're literally doing it with you. And I'm like, this is impressive. So we want to thank you so much for coming here today, and I want you to tell everybody how they can find you, what that process looks like, and I know that you have something special in store if they do mention the podcast, what that is that you're offering.
Yeah, definitely. So what you guys can do, you can mention Kyle Stolte and Krista Kasper, mention them, tag us here at the Mortgage Celebrity Podcast Studio, including Made of Muscle Training too, of course. And then that's going to allow the crowd and audience to receive their first 10% off any fitness package here at Made of Muscle Training on our 3-month or 6-month or a year plan. It doesn't matter. And what they can do, if they want to book their complimentary session with us, they can go right to madeofmuscle.com and they can learn more about us and the team and what we're doing. And they can reach us out at 610-570-0554. That's our business number, our office number, and they can set up their complimentary session with us today.
Fantastic. Awesome. And then you have a Facebook page as well,
and
Instagram?
We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, Google. All of our testimonials, our 5-star reviews are right there on Google, so they can all find additional information there as well. And that's pretty much about Made of Muscle Training.
Cool. Perfect.
Thank you guys for allowing us to come out and represent who we are right here in the Lehigh Valley.
Thanks so much for being here.
Definitely.